The old story of work is familiar to us all. We are often taught to study diligently. Then, we are encouraged to find a stable, long-term job. We dedicate many decades of our lives to this professional path. The overarching promise is a comfortable and secure retirement in our golden years. This typically means ceasing full-time work around the age of 65. It is a well-trodden path that many previous generations have carefully followed. Society frequently presents this as the primary, most responsible option available. It is considered the standard blueprint for a well-lived conventional life. But one must ask, is this truly the only way to experience a full and satisfying existence? Imagine just for a moment a completely different possibility for your life. What if the concept of retirement was not a distant, far-off dream, decades into the future? Consider the profound idea of reclaiming your precious time much, much sooner. Think about possessing the genuine freedom to pursue your deepest passions and interests. You could choose to travel extensively, learn new skills, or simply be more present in your daily life. This kind of liberation does not necessarily have to wait until you are older and potentially more tired. The very thought of achieving early retirement often sparks a deep and resonant yearning within many individuals. It clearly represents a growing desire for greater control and autonomy over our finite and valuable lives. The traditional path to retirement, while often offering a sense of security, certainly has its inherent drawbacks. Out of this widespread questioning and deep reflection, a powerful and transformative movement has steadily emerged. This movement is known by the acronym FIRE Financial Independence, Retire Early. It is crucial to understand that this is not merely a fleeting internet trend or a passing fad. Instead, FIRE represents a carefully considered lifestyle philosophy and a highly strategic financial plan. It offers a tangible and actionable roadmap for those individuals who are earnestly seeking an alternative path to the conventional life script. FIRE is fundamentally about transforming your entire relationship with money and, by extension, your life. It empowers you to make traditional work optional much sooner than most people ever believe possible. This movement is rapidly gaining traction across the globe, inspiring countless people. At its very heart, the FIRE movement represents profound personal freedom and meaningful choice. FIRE. You might have heard this term whispered in financial circles, or perhaps you have seen it trending across online communities. It stands for something quite revolutionary for many people. The letters FIRE spell out financial independence, retire early. This is not just a catchy phrase or a passing internet sensation. It represents a deliberate and very strategic approach to managing your personal finances. It is a conscious choice to design your life differently. It is a clear plan for those who seek greater control over their future. This movement offers a tangible path to a different kind of life. The first part of FIRE is financial independence, or FI. This is truly the foundational goal of the entire movement. Financial independence means you have built up enough wealth. This wealth generates sufficient passive income to cover all your living expenses. You are no longer reliant on a traditional job to pay your bills. Your money starts working for you, instead of you always working for money. This powerful position brings an incredible sense of security. It gives you a profound feeling of control over your own destiny. It is the key that unlocks so many other possibilities in life. Achieving FIRE is not a matter of luck. It is built upon several core principles. The most fundamental of these is the practice of aggressive saving and investing. Followers of the FIRE movement often save a very high percentage of their income. We are not talking about the standard 10 or 15% often recommended. Instead, they frequently aim to save 50, 60, or even 70% of what they earn. This incredibly high savings rate is the engine that powers the journey. It dramatically accelerates the timeline to reaching financial independence. This level of saving demands serious commitment and unwavering discipline over many years. Living significantly below your means is another cornerstone of the FIRE philosophy. This does not mean a life of constant, miserable deprivation. Rather, it signifies highly intentional and conscious spending choices. It is about clearly distinguishing between genuine needs and discretionary wants. FIRE proponents prioritize their long-term goal of ultimate freedom. They place this above the fleeting allure of short-term material gratification. This often leads to embracing a more minimalist lifestyle. Beyond the money, the lifestyle and mindset shift, the FIRE movement extends far beyond mere financial calculations and spreadsheets. It represents a profound and often transformative lifestyle change for those who embrace it. It requires individuals to critically re-examine and redefine their personal definitions of success and happiness. The conventional pursuit of status symbols and endless consumerism is often questioned. Instead, the focus shifts towards valuing experiences, personal development, and meaningful connections. This conscious move towards a more mindful and intentional way of living is central to the FIRE ethos. For many, this internal mindset shift can be the most challenging yet most rewarding aspect of the journey. At its very core, FIRE is about reclaiming something incredibly precious: your time. The desire for greater freedom and control over one's daily life is a powerful motivator. Time, unlike money, is a finite and non-renewable resource. The FIRE movement empowers individuals to take back their time from obligatory work schedules. This newfound freedom can then be dedicated to pursuing personal passions. It could mean spending more quality moments with family and friends, or it could be used for contributing to causes one deeply cares about. The possibilities become vast when your time is truly your own to command. Unveiling the 4% Rule, a cornerstone of early retirement. One of the most fundamental concepts powering the FIRE movement is the 4% Rule. This rule offers a surprisingly straightforward guideline for individuals planning their early retirement. It addresses the critical question: how much can you safely withdraw from your retirement savings each year without running out of money too soon? The idea originated from influential research, most notably the Trinity study, conducted in the 1990s. This study provided a data-driven foundation for retirement planning. The 4% Rule essentially suggests a safe withdrawal rate. It has become a beacon for many aspiring early retirees, making financial independence feel more like a concrete, achievable target than a distant, hazy dream. It gives people a number to aim for. The Trinity study and subsequent related research delved deep into historical market performance. Researchers meticulously analyzed various combinations of stock and bond portfolios. They tested different withdrawal rates over many rolling 30-year periods, using actual market data from the past. Their goal was to determine the probability of a portfolio lasting for a standard retirement duration. The landmark finding indicated that an initial withdrawal of 4% of the portfolio's value, with that dollar amount then adjusted upwards annually for inflation, had a very high success rate. This meant the portfolio was highly likely to sustain the retiree for at least 3 decades, even through various market fluctuations. This research provided crucial reassurance. So, how does the 4% Rule work in practical terms for someone aiming for FIRE? Imagine you have diligently saved and invested, reaching your target nest egg. In your first year of retirement, you would withdraw 4% of this total amount to cover your living expenses. For example, if you had $1 million saved, your first year withdrawal would be $40,000. Crucially, in subsequent years, you would adjust this $40,000 amount for inflation, not recalculate 4% of the current portfolio value. This method aims to maintain your purchasing power throughout your retirement. The underlying assumption is that your investment portfolio will, over the long term, grow at an average rate that outpaces your withdrawals and inflation, thus preserving your capital. Calculating your magic number, the FIRE equation. Once you understand the logic behind the 4% Rule, the next step is to apply it to your own situation. This involves calculating your FIRE number. Your FIRE number is the total amount of invested assets you need to accumulate to achieve financial independence, according to this rule. The calculation itself is remarkably simple and elegant. You can determine your FIRE number by taking your anticipated annual expenses in retirement and dividing them by 0.04. Alternatively, and perhaps even more intuitively, you can multiply your annual expenses by 25. Both methods yield the exact same result. This straightforward formula is a cornerstone of FIRE planning. The absolute most critical input for this calculation is an accurate estimate of your annual expenses. This figure forms the very foundation of your FIRE number, so precision is paramount. If you significantly underestimate your future spending, your calculated FIRE number will be too low. This could jeopardize your financial security in retirement, potentially forcing you to return to work or make drastic lifestyle cuts. Conversely, substantially overestimating your expenses might lead you to believe you need much more money than necessary, potentially delaying your retirement unnecessarily. Therefore, meticulously tracking your current spending and thoughtfully projecting your future needs, including costs like housing, food, transportation, healthcare, and leisure, is an essential preliminary step. Let's walk through a clear, illustrative example to solidify your understanding of this concept. Suppose, after careful budgeting and consideration, you determine that your desired annual living expenses in early retirement will be $40,000. Using the formula, you would divide $40,000 by 0.04, which equals $1 million. Alternatively, multiplying $40,000 by 25 also gives you $1 million. Therefore, in this scenario, your FIRE number, the target principal for your investment portfolio, would be $1 million. This is the sum you would aim to have invested before you could confidently consider yourself financially independent based on the 4% rule. This makes the goal tangible. Navigating with the 4% rule: strengths, limitations, and flexibility. The 4% rule has gained widespread popularity for several compelling reasons, primarily its inherent strengths. Its most significant advantage is undoubtedly its simplicity. It takes a potentially complex and overwhelming financial planning challenge, determining how much is enough for retirement, and boils it down to an easily understandable and actionable guideline. This accessibility empowers individuals who may not be financial experts to take control of their retirement planning. Furthermore, its foundation in the historical data of the Trinity study provides a degree of confidence and a rational basis for its application. It has successfully guided countless people toward achieving their early retirement goals, offering a clear and measurable target. However, it is equally crucial to acknowledge the important limitations and valid criticisms of the 4% rule. The original Trinity study primarily focused on retirement periods of up to 30 years. For early retirees, especially those leaving the workforce in their 30s or 40s, retirement could last much longer, potentially 50 years or more. Historical market returns are also not a guarantee of future performance. The economic landscape can change. Factors like unexpectedly high or persistent inflation, or severe and prolonged market downturns occurring early in retirement, known as sequence of returns risk, can significantly strain a portfolio relying on a fixed 4% withdrawal, potentially leading to premature depletion of funds. Recognizing these limitations, many FIRE practitioners adopt more conservative approaches or build in safety nets. Some choose to aim for a lower withdrawal rate, such as 3.5% or even 3%, to create a larger margin of safety. This effectively means saving more money before retiring. Others plan for flexibility in their spending, preparing to reduce discretionary expenses during periods of poor market performance. Maintaining a separate cash buffer, equivalent to 1 or 2 years of living expenses, can also help avoid selling assets during market lows. Variations like Barista FIRE, which involves some part-time work for supplemental income or benefits, also reflect this desire for increased security and adaptability. Ultimately, the psychological impact of relying on the 4% rule varies from person to person. For many, it provides immense peace of mind and a clear framework for their financial future. For others, the inherent uncertainties and what-if scenarios can still be a source of anxiety even after reaching their FIRE number. It is vital to remember that the 4% rule is a guideline, a highly useful starting point, but not an ironclad, infallible guarantee. Successful and stress-reduced early retirement often involves ongoing monitoring of investments and expenses, a willingness to adapt plans as circumstances change, and an understanding that financial planning is a dynamic, lifelong process, not a one-time calculation. The art of intentional spending, living well below your means. A core pillar of the financial independence, retire early or FIRE mindset is the commitment to live well below your means. Many people are accustomed to saving a small portion of their income, perhaps 10 or 15% if they save at all. However, those pursuing FIRE adopt a much more aggressive stance. They often aim to save an astonishing 40, 50, or even up to 70% of their monthly earnings. This radical departure from conventional saving habits is what significantly accelerates their journey toward financial freedom. Why is such a high savings rate so crucial to the FIRE movement? The answer lies in the power of accumulation and the speed at which financial goals can be reached. By saving a substantial majority of their income, individuals create a significant surplus. This surplus is not left idle. it becomes the capital that is consistently channeled into investments. The more money you can set aside each month, the faster your investment portfolio grows. This accelerated growth directly translates into a shorter timeline to reach your FIRE number, that critical point where your investments can cover your living expenses. Achieving such high savings rates requires a profound shift in how one views spending and consumption. It involves making highly conscious and intentional choices every single day. Many FIRE adherents embrace aspects of minimalism, finding joy in simplicity and experiences rather than material possessions. They might choose to bike to work instead of driving a car, significantly reducing transportation costs. Cooking delicious meals at home becomes a preferred alternative to frequently dining out. Thrifting and buying second-hand items are not seen as sacrifices, but as smart, sustainable choices that align with their long-term financial objectives. These decisions are made from a position of empowerment, not deprivation. They are focusing on what truly adds value to their lives. It is essential to understand that living below your means, even aggressively, is not about leading a life of misery or constant self-denial. Instead, it is about thoughtfully aligning your spending with your deepest values and your ultimate goal of freedom. It is about distinguishing between what you truly need for a fulfilling life and the fleeting desires often fueled by societal pressures or advertising. This approach empowers you to take control of your finances and, by extension, your life. Every dollar intentionally not spent on non-essentials is a dollar that can be invested to buy back your future time. This mindset transforms saving from a chore into an act of liberation and self-investment. Widening the wealth gap, maximizing income, minimizing outgoings. Another key principle that underpins the FIRE mindset is the relentless focus on widening the gap between income and expenses. Think of this gap as the crucial space where your wealth-building potential truly lies. It is the difference between every dollar that comes into your household and every dollar that goes out. The wider this gap becomes, the more financial resources you have at your disposal to save and invest. Consequently, the faster you can propel yourself towards your financial independence goals. Every action taken to increase income or decrease spending contributes directly to expanding this vital financial margin, accelerating your journey. On one side of the equation is the drive to maximize income. While frugal living is a cornerstone, FIRE proponents understand that there is a limit to how much one can cut expenses. Therefore, many also actively seek ways to boost their earnings. This might involve negotiating for a higher salary in their current role or acquiring new in-demand skills to qualify for better-paying positions. Others explore entrepreneurial ventures, starting side businesses that can generate additional revenue streams beyond their primary employment. Freelancing, consulting, or turning a hobby into a profitable endeavor are also common strategies. The goal is to increase the inflow of money, creating more resources to fuel the savings engine. Simultaneously, the effort to minimize outgoings continues with unwavering diligence. This complements the strategies discussed earlier about living below your means, but with a constant eye on that all-important gap. Every decision to spend less, whether it is by finding a more affordable housing solution, optimizing grocery bills, or cutting unnecessary subscriptions, directly contributes to widening this financial space. It is about scrutinizing every expense category to ensure it aligns with the overarching goal of financial independence. The mindset shifts from casually spending to consciously allocating resources. Smart investing and resisting inflation, the growth engine. Once a significant gap between income and expenses is established, the next crucial principle of the FIRE mindset comes into play. Smart, consistent investing. Simply accumulating savings in a low-interest bank account is not enough to achieve financial independence, especially in the face of inflation. The money saved must be put to work, allowed to grow and compound over time. This is where the investment strategy becomes paramount. For most FIRE adherents, this does not mean chasing risky get-rich-quick schemes or trying to time the market. Instead, the focus is on a disciplined, long-term approach designed to build sustainable wealth steadily and reliably, forming the true growth engine of their plan. The preferred investment vehicle for many in the FIRE community is low-cost, broad-market index funds or exchange-traded funds, also known as ETFs. These funds offer instant diversification by holding shares in hundreds or even thousands of companies, spreading risk across the entire market. They typically come with very low management fees, ensuring that more of your investment returns stay in your pocket. The strategy is often described as boring because it avoids the excitement of picking individual stocks. However, its effectiveness lies in its simplicity and its alignment with the long-term growth trajectory of the overall economy. This passive investing approach allows individuals to participate in market gains without needing specialized financial expertise. A closely related and equally vital principle is the conscious effort to avoid lifestyle inflation. Lifestyle inflation refers to the common tendency for people to increase their spending as their income rises. When you receive a pay raise or a bonus, the conventional path is often to upgrade your car, move to a larger house, or spend more on discretionary items. This pattern, while seemingly natural, can severely hinder progress towards financial independence. If every increase in income is matched by an increase in spending, the gap between income and expenses remains stagnant, and the ability to save and invest more does not improve, regardless of how much more you earn. Individuals pursuing FIRE actively resist this gravitational pull of lifestyle inflation. When their income increases, instead of upgrading their lifestyle, they choose to upgrade their savings rate. That extra money from a raise or a bonus is seen as a powerful opportunity to accelerate their journey to financial independence. It is directly funneled into their investment accounts, further boosting the growth of their portfolio. This disciplined approach ensures that as their earning power grows, so does their capacity to build wealth at an even faster pace. By keeping their expenses relatively stable, even as income rises, they dramatically widen the gap, supercharging their progress towards the ultimate goal of freedom. The power of tracking, mastering your financial destiny. A defining characteristic of the FIRE mindset is an unwavering commitment to tracking. Vague notions about money are replaced with concrete data and clear metrics. Those on the path to financial independence understand that you cannot effectively manage what you do not measure. Therefore, they meticulously monitor various aspects of their financial lives. This is not done out of obsession but out of a desire for clarity, control, and continuous improvement. Tracking transforms abstract financial goals into a series of tangible data points that can be monitored, analyzed, and acted upon. This diligent record-keeping is fundamental to navigating the journey to early retirement successfully and making informed decisions along the way. So, what exactly do FIRE followers track with such dedication? Key metrics include their net worth, which provides an overall snapshot of their financial health by subtracting liabilities from assets. They closely monitor their monthly and annual expenses to understand exactly where their money is going and to identify areas for potential savings. Their savings rate, expressed as a percentage of their income, is a critical indicator of their progress speed. And of course, they keep a keen eye on their progress towards their FIRE number, the total investment sum needed to achieve financial independence. Each of these numbers tells an important part of their financial story and guides their actions. The philosophy behind this meticulous tracking is often summarized by the adage, "What gets measured, gets mastered." By regularly reviewing their financial data, individuals gain profound insights into their spending habits, saving capacity, and investment performance. This awareness is the first step towards making positive changes. If expenses in a certain category are higher than anticipated, tracking brings this to light, allowing for corrective action. If the savings rate dips, it signals a need to refocus. Tracking creates a powerful feedback loop, fostering accountability and enabling individuals to stay on course or adjust their strategy as needed to reach their long-term objectives more effectively. Ultimately, the power of tracking extends beyond mere numbers on a spreadsheet or an app. Lean FIRE, embracing frugality for ultimate freedom. The FIRE movement is not a rigid one-size-fits-all prescription for early retirement. Instead, it offers a spectrum of possibilities, allowing individuals to tailor their journey. One popular variation you will encounter is known as Lean FIRE. This approach emphasizes extreme frugality and a minimalist lifestyle. The core idea of Lean FIRE is to retire with a much smaller nest egg than other FIRE paths. This is achieved by drastically reducing annual living expenses to a bare minimum. Those who pursue Lean FIRE prioritize their time and freedom above all material comforts. They are masters of resourceful living and finding contentment in simplicity. Their focus is on achieving financial independence as quickly as possible. Living a lean fire lifestyle requires a deep commitment to mindful spending and conscientious consumption. Individuals on this path often develop impressive skills in budgeting and finding value. They might live in smaller homes or more affordable geographic locations. They often minimize transportation costs by cycling, walking, or using public transport. Cooking meals at home from simple, inexpensive ingredients is a daily practice. Entertainment typically involves low-cost or free activities, such as enjoying nature, reading library books, or engaging in community events. This lifestyle is not about deprivation for its followers, it is a deliberate choice. It is about maximizing freedom by minimizing financial needs. The primary advantage of lean fire is the significantly shorter timeline to reach financial independence. Because the target retirement income is lower, the required investment portfolio is also smaller. This means individuals can potentially escape the traditional workforce years or even decades sooner. This path offers the ultimate prize of maximum free time. However, lean fire also comes with its own set of challenges. At the opposite end of the spectrum from lean fire lies another distinct variation known as fat fire. This approach to financial independence, retire early, caters to individuals who aim to retire early while maintaining a much higher standard of living. Those pursuing fat fire are not looking to live on a shoestring budget. Instead, they plan to enjoy a comfortable and often luxurious lifestyle in retirement. This means their target fire number is considerably larger. They want the financial freedom to travel extensively, dine out regularly, and afford premium goods and services. Fat fire is about achieving independence without making significant sacrifices to their current or desired spending habits. Achieving fat fire requires a combination of high income and aggressive saving and investing strategies. Typically, individuals on this path are high earners in lucrative professions. They might be doctors, lawyers, successful entrepreneurs, or highly paid executives. Despite their substantial incomes, they still practice disciplined financial habits, saving a significant portion of their earnings. However, their higher income allows them to accumulate wealth at a much faster absolute rate, even if their savings percentage is similar to other fire followers. They invest these substantial savings wisely, often in a diversified portfolio, to build the large nest egg needed to support their desired affluent retirement lifestyle. The lifestyle envisioned with fat fire is one of considerable comfort and financial security. There is ample room in the budget for luxuries that lean fire adherents would typically forego. This might include owning a larger home, driving newer cars, taking frequent international vacations, and pursuing expensive hobbies. The larger financial cushion also provides a greater sense of security against inflation or unexpected financial emergencies. For those who achieve fat fire, early retirement does not mean a drastic change in their spending capacity. It simply means they no longer need to work to maintain that comfortable lifestyle. Between the extremes of lean fire and fat fire, there exist several hybrid approaches, including Barista fire. This variation offers a middle ground for those seeking to reduce work stress without fully retiring from all forms of employment. With Barista fire, the goal is to accumulate enough in investments so that passive income can cover most or all essential living expenses. However, individuals then choose to work part-time, often in a less demanding or more enjoyable job. This part-time work helps cover discretionary spending, or very importantly, provides access to benefits like affordable health insurance. The name barista comes from the idea of taking a relaxed job, perhaps at a coffee shop. The appeal of Barista fire lies in its balance and practicality. It allows individuals to significantly downshift from high-pressure careers much sooner than traditional fire. The part-time work is typically chosen for enjoyment, social interaction, or specific benefits, rather than out of sheer financial necessity for survival. This can greatly reduce work-related stress and improve overall well-being. Access to employer-sponsored health insurance through part-time work is a major draw, especially in countries with high healthcare costs. Barista fire provides a smoother transition into retirement, offering a sense of purpose and routine while still granting substantial newfound freedom and flexibility in one's schedule. The very first crucial step on your journey to financial independence, retire early, is to gain absolute clarity on your current financial reality. This important process begins with meticulously and honestly tracking all of your expenses. You need to develop a comprehensive understanding of exactly where your money is going each and every month. This exercise is not intended to be a judgment of your past spending habits, rather, it is an empowering act of awareness. Many individuals are genuinely surprised, and sometimes even shocked, when they see their detailed spending patterns laid out clearly before them. This newfound knowledge is incredibly empowering, allowing you to make truly informed and conscious decisions moving forward. It forms the solid foundation upon which your entire FIRE journey will be meticulously built. Without this fundamental understanding, attempting to plan for financial independence is much like navigating a vast ocean without a reliable map or compass. You can start this vital practice today by choosing a tracking method that best suits your personal preferences, perhaps a dedicated notebook, a detailed spreadsheet, or one of the many excellent budgeting applications available. Once you have cultivated a clear and accurate picture of your monthly and annual expenses, you can then confidently determine your monthly burn rate. This crucial figure represents the precise amount of money you genuinely need to live on each month. It is imperative to be completely honest and thoroughly detailed during this stage of the process. Remember to include everything, from essential costs like housing, utilities, and food, to transportation, insurance, and even occasional entertainment or discretionary spending. This detailed and comprehensive understanding of your spending habits is absolutely essential for effective planning. It is not just about keeping track of the large, obvious expenses. Those small, seemingly insignificant recurring costs can add up to a surprisingly significant amount over time. This careful and diligent accounting will form the unshakable bedrock of all your future FIRE calculations. It will directly and significantly influence the most important numerical target you need to figure out next on your path to financial freedom. With your total annual expenses clearly defined and understood, the next vital and empowering step is to set your personal FIRE number. As we have discussed in earlier sections of this guide, this number represents the total amount of invested capital you will need to accumulate to successfully achieve genuine financial independence. You can easily calculate this significant figure by taking your desired annual expenses in retirement and multiplying that amount by 25. This calculation is directly based on the widely accepted 4% rule, a common guideline in retirement planning. For a clear example, if you determine that you will need $40,000 per year to live comfortably and securely in your early retirement, your specific FIRE number would therefore be $1 million. Seeing this substantial number written down for the first time can evoke a mixture of emotions. It might feel both incredibly daunting and simultaneously wonderfully motivating. It effectively transforms the abstract, somewhat vague dream of retiring early into a concrete, tangible, and quantifiable target to aim for. This number will become your guiding North Star, shaping all your saving and investment decisions. Setting your FIRE number is undoubtedly a pivotal and transformative moment in your financial journey. It provides a clear, well-defined destination for your dedicated efforts and strategic financial planning. It is also important to remember that this number is not necessarily set in stone forever. It can be adjusted and refined over time as your personal circumstances evolve or your retirement goals change. Knowing your specific FIRE number is an absolutely essential milestone, but it is important to recognize that this is only the beginning of your active journey. The next critical phase is all about taking consistent, concrete action to build up your powerful investment engine. This exciting process typically starts with opening the right types of investment accounts that align with your goals. If you are fortunate enough to have access to employer-sponsored retirement plans, such as a 401k in the United States or similar plans in other countries, these are often excellent places to begin your investment journey. Many employers generously offer a matching contribution for your savings, which is essentially free money and provides an immediate, significant boost to your growing nest egg. You should always strive to contribute at least enough to receive the full employer match. This is undeniably one of the easiest and most effective ways to accelerate your investment growth right from the very start. Beyond any available employer-sponsored plans, you should seriously consider opening tax-advantaged individual retirement accounts, IRAs, if these are available in your country. For instance, in the United States, a Roth IRA allows your investments to grow completely tax-free, and all qualified withdrawals you make in retirement are also entirely free from taxation. Alternatively, a traditional IRA may offer you an upfront tax deduction on your contributions in the current year, with taxes being paid on the withdrawals you make during your retirement years. Understanding the distinct benefits and specific rules associated with each type of account is crucial for making an informed choice. If you find that you have already maximized your contributions to these tax-advantaged options, then a standard taxable brokerage account becomes your next important tool. This type of account offers greater flexibility and generally has no contribution limits, making it a vital component for aggressive savers who are seriously pursuing FIRE. Once your chosen investment accounts are successfully set up and ready to go, the most crucial subsequent step is to actually start investing on a regular and consistent basis. It is very important not to wait for what you perceive as the perfect time to enter the stock market, as accurately predicting market movements is nearly impossible, even for seasoned professionals. The core FIRE investment strategy typically emphasizes consistent, disciplined, long-term investing practices. As we have discussed previously, you should aim to choose low-fee, broad market index funds or exchange-traded funds, ETFs. These types of funds offer instant diversification by holding shares in hundreds or even thousands of different companies, which effectively spreads your investment risk across the entire market. You can start with a manageable monthly investment amount and firmly commit to investing it consistently, month after month, regardless of the market's inevitable short-term ups and downs. This disciplined approach, often referred to as dollar-cost averaging, helps to smooth out market volatility over the long run. The consistent habit of monthly investing is far more important than the initial amount you invest, especially when you are just starting out on this journey. Even relatively small, regular contributions have the potential to grow into a substantial sum over the course of several decades, primarily due to the remarkable power of compound interest. As your personal income increases over time, or as you find ways to reduce your ongoing expenses, you can then gradually increase the amount of money you allocate to your investments each month. The absolute key is to begin this process now, without further delay. Do not allow analysis paralysis, the state of overthinking that leads to inaction, to hold you back from taking this vital step. With your carefully constructed investment engine now up and running smoothly, the next important stage of your FIRE journey involves meticulously optimizing your finances and thoughtfully automating key processes to sustain your forward momentum. It is highly beneficial to revisit your list of expenses with a newly critical and discerning eye. Ask yourself honestly and directly, which of these various expenditures genuinely add significant joy, meaning, and tangible value to my life? Through this introspective process, you might discover that some of your habitual spending patterns do not actually contribute much to your overall happiness or well-being. These identified areas are prime candidates for careful reduction or even complete elimination from your budget. Cutting out expenses that do not truly align with your core values effectively frees up more of your hard-earned money for investing. This is not about embracing a life of constant deprivation, but rather about making a conscious and intentional allocation of your precious resources towards what truly matters most to you, your long-term freedom and financial security. Every single dollar that you successfully redirect from non-essential or unfulfilling spending towards your dedicated investment accounts acts as a powerful accelerator on your path to achieving FIRE. This optimization might involve re-evaluating existing subscriptions and memberships, proactively renegotiating your monthly bills for better rates, or diligently finding more cost-effective alternatives for certain goods and services that you regularly use. Even seemingly small changes in your spending habits can accumulate into surprisingly significant savings over an extended period of time. Remember, the overarching goal is to consistently widen that crucial gap between your total income and your total expenses as much as realistically possible. This process of financial optimization is not a one-time task, it is an ongoing commitment. You should plan to regularly review your budget and analyze your spending habits to ensure they are still effectively serving your primary objective of reaching financial independence sooner rather than later. This continuous refinement and adjustment process keeps your financial plan efficient, effective, and aligned with your evolving life. To make the entire saving and investing process as effortless and consistently reliable as possible, you should wholeheartedly embrace the power of automation in your financial life. Take the proactive step of setting up automatic transfers from your primary checking account to your designated savings and investment accounts, ideally scheduled to occur on each payday. Many reputable brokerage platforms offer convenient features that allow you to schedule recurring automatic investments into your chosen funds or ETFs. Furthermore, consider automating your regular bill payments as well. This not only helps you avoid costly late fees but also significantly simplifies your overall financial management tasks. By systematically automating these crucial financial activities, you effectively remove the need for constant willpower, daily decision-making, and manual intervention. Your savings and investments will then grow steadily and predictably in the background, without requiring your active attention every single month. This widely advocated set-it-and-forget-it approach is an incredibly powerful tool for long-term success. Automation truly is a cornerstone of enduring, long-term financial success, particularly for individuals who are diligently following the path to FIRE. The journey towards financial independence, retire early, is fundamentally about much more than simply accumulating wealth or leaving a job. It represents a profound shift towards reclaiming your autonomy and redesigning your life from the ground up. It is not merely about the absence of mandatory work, it is about the empowering presence of genuine choice. This newfound choice has the power to redefine your daily existence in remarkable ways. You gain ultimate control over your most precious and finite asset, your valuable time. Financial independence serves as the essential key that unlocks this new liberating reality. It empowers you to consciously architect a life that is deeply aligned with your truest personal values and aspirations. This chance to live authentically is the ultimate freedom the FIRE movement offers. Consider the incredible and far-reaching impact that achieving financial independence can have on your overall well-being. Escaping the often relentless demands and inherent stresses of a traditional long-term career path can dramatically reduce your daily stress levels. This reduction in chronic stress frequently leads to tangible and significant improvements in both your physical and mental health. You will likely find yourself with more energy and enthusiasm for activities that genuinely nourish your soul and bring you joy. Imagine having truly ample time to cultivate and deepen meaningful relationships with family and friends. You can finally pursue those hobbies and passions you once reluctantly set aside due to a persistent lack of time. This holistic and comprehensive improvement in your overall quality of life is a core, transformative benefit of achieving FIRE. Furthermore, attaining financial independence allows you the invaluable opportunity to discover, or to more deeply pursue, a profound sense of purpose in your life. For many individuals, this purpose extends far beyond the confines of professional achievements or career milestones. It might involve dedicating significantly more quality time to nurturing your family bonds or actively contributing to your local community. Perhaps you feel a strong calling to volunteer your time and skills for causes you passionately believe in. You could finally embark on those ambitious creative projects that have long ignited your imagination. Or maybe you find fulfillment in mentoring others, guiding them on their own unique journeys toward personal or financial growth. FIRE provides the essential space and the precious freedom to explore these deeply fulfilling avenues of human experience. Picture for a moment a life that is intentionally and thoughtfully designed by you, specifically for you. Your mornings could begin with calm, unhurried reflection, rather than the jarring sound of frantic alarms and a rushed commute. Your days can unfold gracefully at your own chosen pace, dictated by your personal priorities and passions, not by external pressures or someone else's agenda. You gain the liberating freedom to travel when and where you truly desire, exploring the world on your own terms. You can dedicate time to learning new skills purely for the joy of it, without career advancement being the sole or primary motive. This is the very essence of crafting a life that you do not constantly feel the need to escape from. The path to achieving complete financial independence and the possibility of early retirement might initially seem quite long and perhaps even overwhelmingly challenging. Many people instinctively believe it is an insurmountable mountain, too difficult to even attempt to climb. However, it is absolutely crucial to remember that every single significant and worthwhile journey, no matter how ambitious, invariably begins with one single decisive step. The core principles that underpin the FIRE movement are not complex, hidden secrets reserved only for a select, privileged few. Instead, they are straightforward, actionable strategies that are readily available to anyone who is genuinely willing to learn, commit, and consistently apply them. The inherent power to fundamentally change your financial future, and, by extension, your life, truly lies within you. It all starts with making the conscious decision to take that vital initial action, regardless of how small or insignificant it may seem at the very beginning of your transformative journey. It is important not to let any feelings of overwhelm or self-doubt paralyze you into a state of inaction. It is perfectly natural and understandable to feel somewhat daunted by the prospect of significantly increasing your savings rate and diligently investing a substantial portion of your income. Understand that the FIRE movement is remarkably adaptable. It can be tailored to suit various income levels, diverse life situations, and individual personal preferences. The absolute key is to begin exactly where you are right now, with the resources and knowledge you currently possess. Focus intently on gaining a crystal-clear understanding of your present financial landscape, as we have carefully outlined in the previous sections. Then, begin the process of implementing small, consistent, and manageable changes to your habits. Each positive action you take, no matter its size, builds valuable momentum and powerfully reinforces your ongoing commitment to your long-term vision. Achieving the significant goal of financial independence is truly a marathon, not a short-distance sprint. It demands considerable patience, unwavering personal discipline, and consistently applied effort over an extended period of time. There will undoubtedly be moments of strong temptation that try to lure you away from your carefully crafted plan. You will also encounter market fluctuations and economic uncertainties that will inevitably test your resolve and your commitment. However, by steadfastly maintaining your focus on your ultimate long-term vision of freedom, and by diligently adhering to your chosen financial strategy, you can successfully navigate these inherent challenges. The foundational principles of consistent and aggressive saving, highly mindful and intentional spending, and strategically smart investing are your most reliable and steadfast companions on this remarkable journey. They will guide you steadily and surely toward your cherished goal. The inspiring promise of FIRE is not some distant, unattainable mirage. It is a genuinely achievable reality for those who are committed. It offers the prospect of a future where your life is no longer dictated primarily by financial obligations or the need to earn a paycheck. It paints a picture of a future where you are the undisputed architect of your own days, shaping your time according to your values. But this empowering future does not simply arrive on its own accord. It must be actively and intentionally built, brick by brick, decision by decision. We strongly encourage you to take that crucial first step today. Calculate your current expenses with honesty. Clearly define your personal FIRE number. Open that important investment account. Make your very first investment, however modest. The transformative power to design a life filled with freedom, purpose, and profound joy is truly in your hands.